This is the last chance for Bitcoin to hold on this very important trend line. We are still in compression and we're right now at the lower side of this compression here, and we are seeing some kind of buy orders coming in, which is a good sign. We failed the 97k CME gap here, but is the 92.4k next? These kind of dumps are pretty familiar for Bitcoin, so don't freak out, because the fear and greed index is at 16, and that is massively low, and everyone who bought at 16 fear and greed index is still in a huge profit. Ethereum is still holding strong, stronger than Bitcoin, because we are bouncing from off these lows, which is a good sign. But we will dive right away into these charts. First of all, please make sure to follow me over on X to never miss something into crypto ever again. I will keep you posted about the crypto market, about trade setups right over here throughout the day. And please make sure, of course, to subscribe over on my YouTube channel, like this daily update video if you love them, and you will never miss something into crypto ever again. But for now, let's dive right away into the charts, because what we can see is every single time we tap this very important support line, we bounce towards the upside, and heavily bounce towards the upside, approximately 160%, and here 77%. And that is exactly where we are bouncing right now. And there are two scenarios. Or we're finding very important support right now, and we are seeing buy orders getting stepped in, and we see a move towards new all-time highs. Or scenario 2 is we break this very important trend line, and that will probably start for a bear market on Bitcoin and crypto. So we are in a very important decision zone for Bitcoin right now, and we really want to see buy orders getting stepped in right now, because if we don't bounce from off this level, we will probably see more downside coming for Bitcoin. So I'm keeping my eye on this very important trend line. For now, what we can see is that right now, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, there are some buy orders getting in the market right now on this trend line. But this is not enough for a bounce. We really want to see Bitcoin bouncing from off this level to say we are gonna hold this trend line and not break it to see a bear market. If we look at this compression zone, we have been talking about this in yesterday's video. I said we tap top side here, the lower side is the most likely for now, and that is exactly what we have been seeing here in exactly 90.7k. We took out the liquidity on the low, which is a good sign. And right now we can see that we are getting supported by this green line on the lower side of this compression. If this really happens, we can probably see the top side once again, and that will mean that Bitcoin could bounce towards a 103k, which is good for a relief rally, and then maybe break out further towards the upside. But right now I want to see this candle closing very bullish on Bitcoin with a great wick and bullish in this compression zone before looking for the top side of the compression zone here. So also here we need to wait. Don't panic into the market right now. We need to see what Bitcoin is doing in the upcoming hours and days to say what will happen next. So just touch some grass, don't look at the charts, and we will see what Bitcoin will do in the upcoming hours and days to see which direction we will go on for Bitcoin and crypto here. One thing we can tell, and I've been talking about the CME gaps for weeks right now, is the 97k CME gap here is exactly filled by Bitcoin. So we can delete this. It is completed. The only thing that is left right now, the only CME gap, is 92.4k. And that is something we can see here. If we drop further towards the downside, we will probably take that 92.4k CME gap and then maybe see some relief rally towards the upside. It is also possible that we took out the 97k here, and that was enough for the market makers to push the price higher, because you need to know why CME gaps are important. CME gaps are gaps that institutional traders couldn't trade in, so their orders aren't filled if price creates a gap and move further towards the upside. But if they put in orders to buy Bitcoin and price never came back, that is something they would push the price towards to fill up their orders, and then we can see some momentum towards the upside. Now is the question, does the institutional traders have enough Bitcoin right now on the CME gap of the 97k here, or do we need to see a lower price or 92.4k before we can see a relief rally towards the upside? That is the question. Also with that, you need to be patient and see what the market is doing next in the upcoming days and hours. If we see a nice trade setup, we of course gonna share it live in these videos and over on my X page and in my free Telegram group, so please make sure to join them as well. If you want to trade by yourself, please make sure to sign up on WeX in the link in the description, and you will have the best trading circumstances is that A+ setup is coming, so I will recommend it 100%. If we look in the market right now, we have seen these 30% corrections a few times here in a bull market, and every single time we saw this 30% correction, we also pumped towards the upside. And right now we are not even close towards the 30%. We dumped 25% right now. So is there more downside possible? Yeah, it is possible, but we need to know. Maybe we will go further towards the downside, but every single time this bull market we have dumped 30% or more, we saw a relief rally towards the upside and towards new all-time highs. So right now we need to stay patient, not freak out the market, because this is very frequently for Bitcoin, and this is exactly where they want you to shake out, to buy your sell your Bitcoin so they can buy your Bitcoin back. That is why you need to look at the charts, look at the history, because the history doesn't lie on Bitcoin. If we look at the Fear and Greed Index, we can see that we are currently at 16, which is a really low point. But I've mentioned this already a few times. Everyone in the past of Bitcoin who bought at Fear 16 is in a huge profit. If you bought at Fear 16 right here, you were in profit. If you are bought here, you are in profit. If you bought here, you are on a massive profit. Even if you bought here, you are in a massive profit. And then we don't talk about these low numbers. That is a fact that you need to keep in mind. Everyone who bought in Fear is in a major profit, and right now we are in a fear zone, and that is something you need to think about. If I say that everyone who bought in Fear is in a massive profit, and in a few months, in a few years, we will talk about this dip also as a very nice buying opportunity. So keep that in mind for yourself. If we look at Ethereum, I've been talking about this chart in a few days in a row right now, and I said Ethereum is looking a little bit better than Bitcoin, because what we can see is Bitcoin break lows further towards the downside, which is not a really good sign, and Ethereum is getting supported by that lows, and we are seeing some buying power getting in Ethereum, which is a good sign. So we have been talking about this buying zone. If you bought spot or look for trades, you would have been triggered right now, and we will see what Ethereum will do next. We broke this low, so this will probably act as resistance right now. That is something you want to keep in mind for yourself. This is also a TP point. If you bought in right here, then you could have a nice trade of approximately 5%. So this charts unfold exactly as we have been predicting over on our YouTube channel, which is massive to see. And that was it for today's video, guys. Please make sure to follow me over on X if you never want to miss something into crypto ever again. You can join my free Telegram group here in my bio over on X, and you can also join it with the first link in the description. And please make sure to subscribe over on my YouTube channel to never miss something ever again in crypto, and like this daily update video, and then I will see you tomorrow by a brand new crypto daily update video.